As always, the reference video will be in the description. So today we'll be talking about the upcoming banners. We have a 3-star Seiun Sky for the support cards, Silent Suzuka, and Stamina Tamamo Cross SSR cards. Before we dive in, this banner could be a game changer, potentially reshaping the meta by influencing strategies and other gameplay elements. Let's take a closer look. First, we have 3-star Seiun Sky. Seiun Sky is a turf runner primarily suited for medium and long races, but capable of competing in my races with the right sparks. Despite having B in pace, she performs best at the front runner. We'll talk about the reason in the skill set. For the growth rate, she has 10% of stamina and 20% more width. Since she lacks growth rate bonuses for speed and power, these stats, particularly power, are harder to boost. However, a single width card is usually enough to cover her width stat. Before Seiun Sky release, front runners weren't particularly strong. In the final stretch, front runners struggled to hold the lead and were often overtaken by the pace late or even end runners in the late race corner, final corner, or final straight. After Seiun Sky came out, things have changed. Let's find the reason by looking at all her skills. I am referencing these skill names from the Game Torah website. Note that this name may change upon release. Seiun Sky's ultimate skill is angling and scheming. Increase acceleration at the opportune moment when in the lead on a corner late race. The main thing to note in her skill set is at skill level 3, Vanguard Spirit, increased ability to maintain the lead when leading by a large margin mid race. It is a long related skill. In skill level 5, we have Escape Artist for front runners, increased ability to go to the front mid race. Additionally, at skill level 4, not shown here, she has the solid hell high skill, a very good skill set here. Now, looking at them more closely, for angling and scheming, compare it to Ryan's Less Pump Some Iron, used by late war and runners in the Towers Cup. Do you remember what Less Pump Some Iron was? It was a skill that, when having 6th place on the late race corner, they could have an acceleration right off the bat. For the case of angling and scheming, it is activated when on the first place, since nearly every race course has a corner at the start of the late race. Angling and scheming is always effective, while a few race courses have a straight at the start of the late race. Most begin with a corner, making angling and scheming highly effective. Since it's effective in most cases, front runners greatly benefit from Seiun Sky's unique skill. You might wonder whether Seiun Sky can be used in a Gemini Cup. Unfortunately, the Gemini Cup involves a bit of a straight followed by a corner, so it tends to kick in a bit late. There's not much we can do about that. However, even in this situation, if you choose to use a front runner, you need to equip it that even it activates with a delay, because without acceleration, it falls short. Same Sky's unique skill is an acceleration skill, and with this skill, Front can maintain its firepower to keep leading until the very end. Now, for the Vanguard Spirit skill at Awakening level 3, this skill activates when you are in the lead and there's a gap of at least 3 horse lengths between you and the trailing pack. You need a 3 horse length gap to activate it, but at that point, you're likely winning anyway, so the skill isn't always necessary. Now, if we shift to another scenario, what if there is only one front? In that case, the skill might activate because there's a gap of 3 or more horse lengths between you and the pace. But here's the problem: when a front is running alone, it doesn't have to compete on speed, so it often gets overtaken by the pace runners. As a result, there's really no reason to use this skill, and it's likely to be a waste of a skill point. In short, it's not very effective and honestly kind of underwhelming. At skill level 4, Telltale High is a reliable skill for consistent performance. Next, at skill level 5, the crucial Escape Artist skill. This is a mid-range speeding boost skill for front runners, responsible for carrying the mid-race. It's truly a solid goal skill. There's really nothing better than this. The real issue is that for other front runners to learn this Escape Artist skill, you need to use the Seiun Sky Stamina card, which unfortunately is a random acquisition. So getting it can be a bit tricky, but since Seiun Sky comes with this skill herself, it is one of the reasons that we use her as a runner. So how is Seiun Sky trained? Generally, for the front era, it is divided into before and after Seiun Sky's appearances. As mentioned, Seiun Sky unique skill angling and scheming is essential when training front runners. Without it, it's tough to maintain the lead in the late race. Some might say, isn't that first place condition too strict? But front is supposed to stick to the front from the start. If your front runner is in the lead, it means that your Uma is strong. If it is in second, you're already in trouble because front is a position which would be struggling to overtake. That is why your front runner has to be in the first place. There's no question about it. We could extend this idea of having groundwork. Groundwork is an excellent way to have a lead in the early start. This is why after Same Sky's release, groundwork skill has also become popular. You might think it's limiting that it only activates in first place, but a frontrunner's role is to maintain the lead until the end. It is ineffective without the lead, so yeah, you want to boost stats and skills to secure that position. Now, Seiun Sky is normally run on medium or long races, but given the situation of having the right spars, she could run on the mile races. Also, she could be stronger when she herself is running in the race rather than other front runners using her ult. But having Seiun Sky keeping the lead might be harder than other front runners. For example, in the upcoming Summer Merzinski banner, Same Sky will struggle to take the lead against her. And in the case of Cancer Cup, the next champions meeting after the Gemini Cup, we could see Smart Falcon. Now, Smart Falcon, when Same Sky is in the picture, rather than aiming to take the first place herself, Falcon is used to block Same Sky's unique skill. If Seiun Sky unique skills triggers, it becomes hard to catch up. So Falcon is there to counter that skill. Since Falcon can widen the gap to the lead right from the start, if she's in burst and there's someone trailing behind, it is used for this counter role. For Seiun Sky to overcome this counter attack, it needs to build up a lot more mid-range speed. If she can't overtake during this process, she won't be able to use her unique skill, which reduces her chances to win. As a result, the challenge of securing the lead is definitely a clear disadvantage for having Seiun Sky her as a runner herself. Now, if you take Seiun Sky into some specific races and win during your training, you receive some stat bonuses and best pace, which golden skill would be Escape Artist. Try to be careful when training Seiun as a mile runner, because during training she'll be running some long racetracks. During a special event in late October of the senior year, you'll receive a skill based on your training level. These skills you receive depend on your highest training level. Naturally, speed is often our highest level, receiving skills like front runners railways. Overall, Seiyu Sky marks a game-changing shift in the meta. So the main thing was about the same sky here, but let us look at the support cards real quick. Now these two are the reruns of the early cards, so there's not really much to say. We have Silent Suzuka and Tamamo Cross. For Seiun Suzuka, first, you can get some bronze skills from this card. Secondly, you can obtain the unrestrained golden skill, but note that it is effective on only a few racetracks. When you get max limit break of Suzuka, specialty priority becomes 65, which is quite high. She has no speed bonus, but bonus bar skill points. Now she will be buffed after the 1 year anniversary rebalance, mainly for the events. Anyone who already used Science Suzuka might have noticed this, but her card events don't give any friendship gauge. Other support card events usually boost the gauge to some extent, but in her case it doesn't, which makes you wonder why. But her card value will improve later. She offers benefits like concentration, or one of the Science's cast rank is an event that grants the left-handed skill. Final point would be in the fourth scenario, the new Grand Life scenario, she got quite a boost thanks to being a scenario link. Since the training performance in this scenario empathize different stats compared to previous ones, Suzuka's value has skyrocketed with the scenario rank. Honestly, nobody expected her to rise this much. However, it's not the best time to pull for her right now. While it will be good in the future, the board scenario is yet to come. And right now, it's not that good, it would seem. For now, pulling her is somewhat questionable choice. Moving on to Tamamo Cross, first we can obtain Fast and Furious, which is a golden skill for late. We could get some decent medium and late related skills. The training effectiveness is 10%, which is nice, but having no specialty priority is kind of sad. Could argue it's a decent car, but for now, the future of the stamina car is not that bright, so we need something better than Super Creek if we were to take only one stamina card or such. Using her can provide debuff skills if that's your strategy. Anyway, for the free to play players, you won't be needing this. Now, let us review. For the frontrunner, Seiun Sky is not just a high tier Uma, it is the main engine which every runner needs to in order to start their car. It's also the most top tier inherited skill for frontrunners. If we were to have some emergency key, for example, we would want to have Seiyun's ult inherited. However, borrowing her only 3 times per day can be limiting, so instead of borrowing Seiyun all the time, we would want to have it ourselves in order to constantly have her in our legacy. This is similar to recommending a Kitasan Black, a support card, but here you only need to pull once to secure her spark. If you're not planning to grind for the sparks, or maybe you are not planning on running a front, you could skip it. But if you do want to have some front runners, I highly recommend her. As for the support cards, unless you are a super well, just pass. That's it for today. For this banner, we mainly focus on Seiun Sky, and we would think that for the Gemini Cup, we have limited time to use Seiun Sky, but in the next Cancer Cup, we would expect to see the power of Seiun Sky. Let me know in the comments about what you think about Seiun Sky. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.